For most of history, we've kind of thought of sleep as just downtime, right? A passive state where your body and brain just switch off to rest. But what if I told you that while you're asleep, your brain is actually one of the busiest places on the planet? Yeah, it's performing tasks that are absolutely essential for your survival. So let's dive into the incredible hidden world of your brain at night.
You know the feeling. We've all been there. That groggy, completely unfocused feeling after tossing and turning. You can't think straight, your memory is shot, and your mood just tanks. It really feels like your brain just didn't get a chance to recharge. And you know what? You'd be right. But the way your brain recharges is a story of pure biological genius. It's not just resting, it's running this highly sophisticated, super active maintenance program. And honestly, it's a program that way too many of us are skipping far too often. Get this. According to the CDC, that's the percentage of US adults, we're talking more than 1 in 3, who consistently fail to get enough sleep. This isn't just about feeling a little tired. It's a massive public health issue because we're skipping some of the most important work our brain does all day. So, what exactly are we missing out on? Okay, first up, let's talk about housekeeping. While you're awake, your brain is working hard, learning, creating, processing, and all that work generates a lot of, well, metabolic waste. You can kind of think of it like a busy office at the end of a long day. It gets messy. I love this analogy from Dr. Rafael Palayo because he just perfectly illustrates what's going on. Sleep is literally when the brain's custodial crew comes in to clean up the mess. They make sure everything is fresh and ready for you to take on the next day. But here's the cool part. This isn't just a metaphor. It's a real biological system. It's called the glymphatic system. Basically, it's a whole network of channels that acts like a superhighway for cerebrospinal fluid to wash through your brain tissue, collecting and flushing out all the toxic gunk that's built up during the day. Now, this system doesn't run 24/7. It kicks into high gear specifically during deep, slow-wave sleep. That's the key. As you go through these stages, this fluid flushes through your brain, carrying all that waste away. But here's the crucial takeaway. If you don't get enough deep sleep, the trash simply doesn't get taken out. It just stays there. And listen, this isn't just any old trash. The glymphatic system is responsible for clearing away really harmful proteins like amyloid beta. Now, when these proteins accumulate, they form the plaques that are strongly linked with Alzheimer's disease. So this nightly cleanup isn't just about feeling fresh, it is a fundamental defense against neurodegenerative diseases. So beyond cleaning, sleep also acts as a master architect for your memories. It doesn't just store information away in some dusty filing cabinet. No, it intelligently curates it, deciding what to keep, what to strengthen, and what to toss out. Let's see how that actually works. Think of your brain as having two very distinct modes. During the day, it's in data acquisition mode. It's taking in experiences, it's learning things, and it's forming these kind of fragile initial connections. But at night, it switches into consolidation mode. It actually replays the day's events, strengthens the important connections, and weaves all that new knowledge in with your existing memory. Now, scientists have a fancy name for this, the synaptic homeostasis hypothesis. But just think of it like a gardener. Sleep tends to the important connections, helping them grow stronger, while at the same time, it prunes away the weaker, less relevant connections. This whole process gets rid of the noise, which makes the important memories way sharper and easier to access. This diagram shows that your brain is anything but switched off. Look at panel A. That's the high level of activity when you're awake, taking in information. Now, look at panel B. That's non-REM sleep. The overall activity calms down as the brain starts to prune those weaker connections. But then, look at panel C, REM sleep. You see specific areas light right back up. That's your brain actively solidifying important memories. It's this super dynamic, multi-stage process, and every single phase has a vital job to do. So we know sleep is a cleaner and an architect. It's amazing. But what happens when we consistently fail to let it do its job? Well, the price we pay is alarmingly high. It affects nearly every single aspect of our health. Building up a chronic sleep debt is a major risk factor for a whole host of problems. Research consistently links not getting enough sleep to chronic illnesses like heart disease and diabetes, a really severe strain on our mental health, and of course, that cognitive decline we all feel when we're tired. Poor memory and just zero ability to focus. Let's just zoom in on mental health for a second because the numbers here are absolutely staggering.
According to research from Stanford Medicine, people with insomnia are 10 times more likely to experience depression and an incredible 17 times more likely to have anxiety than the general population. Those are not small numbers. And as Dr. Goldstein-Piakarski points out, it is a two-way street. Poor sleep can trigger or make mood disorders worse, and then those same mood disorders make it incredibly difficult to get good sleep. It's a vicious cycle that can feel impossible to break. Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. Breaking that cycle is totally possible. The same science that shows us the dangers of poor sleep also gives us a really clear roadmap for how to improve it. The key is to really focus on two things: consistency and your environment. First, try to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day. Yep, even on weekends. That stabilizes your body's internal clock. Second, get some sunlight in the morning to really reinforce that clock. And finally, create a sleep sanctuary. Make it cool, dark, and quiet. And try to avoid stimulants like caffeine and screens right before bed. These simple habits send a powerful signal to your brain that it's time to rest.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. We have to completely reframe how we think about sleep. It is not an indulgence. It's not a sign of laziness. It is a non-negotiable biological requirement for our brains and bodies to function, to heal, and to thrive. It's every bit as vital as breathing or eating.
It is the most powerful tool you have to reset your body and mind each and every day. Prioritizing it might just be the single most important thing you can do for your health. So the real question is, will you?